Welcome to another edition of Get to Know Your Warrior football program for the 2015 season. I'm Sports Information Director Jeff Weiss and joined today by Offensive Line Coach Scott Wooster. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Last year, you had two fifth-year senior starter captains on the offensive line. Unfortunately, they both got hurt at the Grand Valley game. However, that opened up the opportunity for some younger guys to get a lot of playing time the second half of the year. And now this year, you enter camp with four guys who have seen significant amount of playing time. And let's start with Nate Theaker, the fifth-year senior preseason All-American. Give us what your expectations are for Nate this year.
You hit it there, Jeff. Week 6 last year, we lose both fifth-year seniors and both captains. And that was kind of Nate's coming out party because we were in a position where we were shuffling around some guys mid-second quarter. And actually, Robert Kelly went out of that game for a while, too. So he kind of took over, and he emerged as the leader, on the field leader. And from there on out, just became a dominant football player. He was always a great football player, but he flipped the switch and became dominant. We saw the same thing in the winter and the same thing in the spring from him. As he becomes a leader off the field as well, takes it to the offense, not just the offensive line, but takes it to the team. I'm going to be pretty excited about what he's going to become and what he can be, because he's still kind of scratching the surface of being a down and down out dominant football player, but we're really excited about him.
You mentioned Robert Kelly, a young guy who's still going to be a redshirt junior this year, has seen a lot of football playing time the last couple of years.
Yes.
What do you expect from Robert?
He's a 20-game starter, coming in his junior year, so he's played a lot of football. We're moving him inside to guard. He's a natural guard, and using his length and now his size, he's over 300 pounds, and really had a full year of being healthy and being able to lift. But all that experience and now going inside, I think is really going to help him. But the sky's the limit for him because he is as talented as they come. The big body, the great arm length, explosive, he can snap on you. He's really learning how to play hard, finish every single rep, and get after people, and we're really excited about Robert Kelly.
A young guy who got a lot of playing time last year, Tommy Richardson from Troy.
Yeah. Tommy started all 11 games at both guards. We're going to move him to center, so we've had quite a bit of a shuffle here. But we're moving him to center because you don't find athletes like him on the offensive line. Especially with what he's done to his body. He played last year in the high 260s, 270s. He's 292, 293 pounds right now. Hopefully comes in camp about 295. And with his athleticism and quickness and now experience at the center position and his length, that fires you up because he's a guy that can do some different things there now for us. So we're fired up about Tommy. It's a transition going from guard to center, but he did a nice job this spring, and he's a worker. He shows up every day and works. And I haven't had, in my 15, 16 years of coaching, a guy that is as coachable as him. And what I mean by that is what I say he can do. He's got that kinesthetic awareness is right away, he can fix it. And if I show him something, if I tell him something, he can fix it right away. So that's what fires you up about Tommy Richardson.
And then one guy that we haven't mentioned is Sawyer McFadden, who's played a lot at guard for you over the last few years.
Yeah, Sawyer's got quite a bit of playing experience. Now, he had a wrist injury late last year, had some issues with that surgery, so we didn't have him for spring, and he's getting back in the swing of things now. So he's got to have a great camp to compete at that left guard spot because that's one of the positions that's wide open. Alex Zetas, who's going to play center and left guard, but he kind of emerged as the starter coming out of spring, but that thing is wide open. It's going to be fun in camp because we got him, we got Ed Rennie, who's played quite a bit the last couple of years, especially late last year, and Sawyer, and even a freshman coming in. So that thing's going to be wide open. Greg Weber's got a shot at that one, so we're excited about getting into camp and having some fun competing for that spot.
Definitely some competition coming around. The one spot that we haven't mentioned is right tackle.
Right tackle.
Last year, Nate played that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now, with Nate moving over to the other side, who do you see, or what competition is there going to be at right tackle?
Yeah, we got into spring with a couple different guys. Andy Zimmerman was one of them, Sam Tate, and they did a tremendous job. They both lost a little time in the spring because they were ill, but when they were healthy and they were going, that's going to be another great competition this fall. Is Andy Zimmerman and Sam Tate, and Zimmerman's really emerged as kind of a leader there too. So he's been fun to watch his development.
Seems like you've got a lot of depth, not only the starting five or with competition, but you also have some younger people like Jake Sheets, JT Pillars, and you mentioned Greg Weber, Israel Helms, redshirted last year. Any of those guys you look for to emerge this year?
There's some, like I said, the right tackle spot, the left guard spot, but all five. I mean, it's open competition, So those guys, Israel Helms has done nothing but work and develop, and he's going to have a great future for us because he's everything you want in lineman. JT Pillars has played, he's been here. He's
Right,
a junior
done some
now.
special teams.
Shake Sheets, all those guys that have been around, it's their turn too, so depending on what kind of summer they had, and I think they had a pretty good one, we'll see what happens with them at camp too. But they're all workers, they're all there for each other, fighting for the guy next to them, for the guy behind them, and that's what it's about. So we'll see who fights the hardest and who plays the best, who's the most physical guys out there.
Sounds good. One other thing, you brought 4 recruits in, all big bodies, one from Florida, one from Wisconsin, and a couple of local guys.
Yes.
I assume probably with the depth that we have on the offensive line, trying to redshirt those guys this year?
In every way, shape, or form, try to redshirt them because these guys can be special. This was a great recruiting class. We kind of hit it out of the park. 2 guards, exact guards we want. Big body, strong, physical. Put your face on guys and move them off the line of scrimmage, and then 2 really athletic tackles. Justin Toxstein out of Warrenmont here just up the road, and then Taryn Hampton out of Tampa, Florida, Brandon, Florida. Great athletes, but length, everything you want in a tackle. And like I said, Charlie Younger and Nick Davis, everything you want in a guard. So we're going to try to do everything we can to redshirt those guys and keep the future as bright as we possibly can.
Well, it sounds like the future is bright right now for 2015.
Yes.
So, well, one other thing that I know that you take pride in is the academic performance of your student athletes, especially the offensive line. Give us the rundown on where they finished this past year.
They had a real good semester again, and then they're getting up in the upper level, so those classes are challenged, especially at a school like Weiss State, because this degree means something now. But the exciting thing for me is that we're going to have a good offensive line. We're going to be as physical as anybody in the country. We're going to be big. We're going to be strong. We're going to pound people. But the great part about this group is we could start left to right with a future federal agent at left tackle, a doctor at left guard, an accountant at center, a mechanical engineer at right guard, and a future CEO at right tackle. So that's what makes us really proud, is what these guys have for the next 50 years, not just this year. And we're going to be good. We're going to be physical. Like I said, we're going to pound you, but the next 50 years it's going to be exciting too. And what they do in the community with their community service and engagement is special. And it's a great group of guys to coach. And I love being part of this.
Yeah, definitely the epitome of a true student athlete.
Student athlete, absolutely.
Well, thanks for watching this edition of Get to Know Your Warrior Football, and stay tuned for other position previews.